Good evening. Marco Muzzo, the man who killed 3 young siblings and their grandfather while impaired behind the wheel of his vehicle, has been granted full parole. The controversial decision announced this afternoon at a parole board hearing following an emotional day of victim impact statements and hours of questioning the convicted drunk driver. The pain of a nearly unimaginable loss was front and center today as the parents delivered a victim impact statement to the parole board at today's virtual hearing. While standing in front of a wall of her deceased children's artwork, Jennifer Neville Lake delivered a 30-minute statement. In part, she read out, "The killer of my family has forced me to endure so much death, so much pain in all areas of my life because of his reckless decisions and actions. The thought of him being out on the streets frightens me greatly. Any and all of my suicide attempts have been a result of what he has done to my family." Standing in front of photos of their children, Edward Lake told the parole board, "So many times I see something or experience something and want to share it with my children, but they're not there. Without my children, I feel like an empty shell." Muzzo was sentenced to 10 years behind bars following the September 2015 crash in Vaughan that claimed the lives of 9-year-old Daniel Neville Lake, his 5-year-old brother Harrison, and their 2-year-old sister Millie, as well as their grandfather, Gary Neville. Muzzo had just returned from his bachelor party in Miami at the time of the horrific incident. This past April, Muzzo was granted day parole and has been living at a halfway house. Muzzo's first attempt at parole was denied in 2018. Jennifer Neville Lake's heartbreaking words on that day remain a painful reality.
I listened for, the sound that Millie would make when she was asleep, sounds of tossing and turning. I listened for the little feet coming down the hallway, whether to go to the bathroom or, "Mom, can I have another drink of water?"
Muzzo sat quietly during victim impact statements today, a mask on his face covering any emotion he may have been showing. In his closing remarks, he told all those listening that he thinks about Daniel, Harry, Millie, and their grandfather Gary every day, saying, "I'm not asking for forgiveness, and nor do I ever expect it. It was me who made the decision to drive drunk. It was me who put booze in my mouth. It was no one but me from beginning to end." In 2016, Muzzo received the harshest sentence for his crime in Canadian history, though many are wondering why he's able to receive full parole after completing only half of his sentence.
In this case, he had already been doing well on day parole and had proven that he could engage in counseling and meaningfully address the issues that led to his offending in the first place. And so he was a great candidate to be granted full parole in these circumstances.
Mad Canada was also watching today's hearing closely.
If he'd been denied full parole, I don't think anybody walks away from today happy. I think from what we take from it, that the important thing to remember is those 3 young children and their grandfather who lost their lives. That's what I think we should all be focused on.
In a tweet sent out after the decision, Jennifer Neville Lake wrote in part, "No matter what happened today, Daniel, Harry, and Millie are not coming back home. My dad isn't coming home to my mom. Nothing will change for me." Muzzo must comply with a list of conditions that include he's not to consume, purchase, or possess any alcohol, and he's not to enter the city of Brampton or York Region.